Hello, my very dear ex-brother in arms, my very dear veterans. I am extremely great today, beside yesterday, that my day was extremely bad because you know what? I was wearing a red t-shirt. So whenever I wear a red t-shirt, I feel extremely bad because red stands for the liberal. Red stands for the liberal. So, and I'm not liberal. So this is why I was not feeling too bad, too good. Now today I feel a little better because I'm wearing a total, well, it's a gray t-shirt that I use for my training, but the thing is I'm not doing that much, okay? Please, I ask you, whenever you see my emails, I want you to read it from the beginning to the end. It's because I am adding a lot of stuff that deserves to be read, okay? Right of today, have a lot of stuff about Muslims, radicalists, I have Muslims that I got from social media and any other social media other than Facebook, but I mean, it's still good to read because you can see how Muslims are elsewhere than Canada, Here, Mr. Trudeau wants to bring them back all here, even the warrior in ASUS, Mr. Trudeau wants to bring all the Canadian black back in Canada, which the Canadian population don't want them here, because those are criminal, those are Islamists, and those are terrorism. Okay, so it's no good to bring them back here, and this is what Mr. Trudeau is doing so far. That's the only thing he can do. And look at how Mr. Trudeau appeared in the affair of SNC-Lavalin, he did protect the whole fucking crap because he didn't want to be judged by the Canadian population. But it is too late right now because he has already been judged by the Canadian population. And the one that are saying that Mr. Trudeau is ahead here in Quebec is totally false, because conservatives are ahead instead of the liberal, and I'm only hoping, I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to give my vote to the conservative just to make sure they kick out Trudeau from there, okay? Conservative, I ask you, if you ever take the power in Ottawa, I ask you to withdraw Canada out of that fucking Canadian UN pact. I want you to remove Canada from there, okay? Because we don't want more immigration here in Canada. We don't want more Muslims here in Canada. And you know what we're all thinking about the Muslims right now? We all have bad ideas about them. First of all, they have the Sharia. The Sharia is against the Canadian population because it's mainly for the Muslims, the one that are praying on fucking carpet, the one that are making those fucking holes in our streets, because they keep bending on the road and they're eating road at the same time. So this is because we have that many holes in our street right now. And I believe, well, the Quebec is right now, but I'm not telling other provinces, because other provinces, they have pretty good or pretty nice road. When they do the road in other provinces, they're using the highest quality. Here in Quebec, they're using the lowest quality, and this is what we're getting for that many holes in Quebec here on the street. It's not good at all. Mainly, if you look at it, all the Quebecers will say that we're in shit right now because of Mr. Trudeau. You guys in other province only have one income tax report to make. Maybe you're paying a little high, but I mean you only have one. Here in Quebec we have two, okay? Two income tax report. And Mr. Trudeau doesn't want Quebec to have one income tax report to make. He wants to remain at two. You know why? It's because the one who was working at Trois-Rivières or Jonquière, the servants that are there, they won't be losing their job if revenue agency remain in Quebec, because federal revenue agency should stay where it belongs, at Ottawa, okay? It should stay there, but it's not the case right now. It's in our province, and we are paying big time for it, you know. Since we have 2 income tax report to make, it's very bad because, you know, we have to pay for the Quebec, and we have to pay for the federal both income tax, you know. It's always above $150 when we do our both income tax report. And I don't think it's the same way, the same thing in any other provinces. Me, you know, I'm always bitching against the federal, and I have my own reason for it, and my reasons are right, you know. Since I'm telling the truth, and maybe the federal doesn't like to get the truth in their face, it's because sometimes the truth might hurt yourself, you know. And this is what's happening to the federal right now, because he's having so many problems with the rest of the country, beside Quebec. Here in Quebec, we're giving the federal a real hard time because Mr. Legault doesn't seem to go along with Mr. Trudeau. Okay, so it's totally different what they may think. Here in Quebec, you know, well, I'm always talking about Quebec because I'm a Quebecer. And I just want to make sure, because first of all, I know that here in Quebec, we're not being liked by any other people other than Quebec here in Canada. I know English people don't like French people, and I have the proof of it, but I won't make it public, okay? You all know what's going on with the French people. Like myself, you know, I am French, but I am a good man, you know. I like English people. I spent my military career in English, mainly in English, I would say, I shall say, and I didn't, no, I loved it. I'm not gonna say I didn't like it, but I loved it, okay? Because English people are good men, and I consider English people as my bro, because, you know, we're talking the same language, we're taking the same way, and, you know, it's everything according to what I'm thinking right now. Everything is great, okay? Because I have 2 good friends right now that I'm calling once a week. One lives in Nova Scotia, and the other one lives in Ontario. But these are the 2 provinces that I would like to be living in right now, because, you know, I spoke with a guy yesterday. He said, if Trudeau get back in, I'm moving to New Brunswick. And do you know why? It's because Mr. Trudeau, I don't think he can do whatever he wants in New Brunswick because of the Acadians, you know. And the Acadians, they have their own way of living. And Mr. Trudeau doesn't wait that high on the Acadians, because most of the Acadians are in the state right now. Like, a guy yesterday asked me, hey Mario, for whom are you going to vote this fall? Are you going to vote for Trudeau or Scheer? I said, no. I'm going to be voting for Mr. Trump, okay? That's simple as that. I'm going to be voting for Mr. Trump, and I'm just hoping that Mr. Trump comes to Canada to settle the whole fucking crap we have right now. Because Mr. Trudeau will never be able to settle things as far as it's concerned, because right now, if you look at Mr. Trudeau, you're looking at the peace, you know? It's not good. Myself, I don't consider him as a friend right now, because he's not, he kept bitching all the time against the Canadian population. He kept bitching about the Quebecer, and he kept bitching just about everything, you know. But this man is a real, he belongs to hell, okay. This man should not be here in Canada. He should be up to the hell right now, where he belongs to, because his father is there right now. Because his father so lost to the Islam while he was serving Canada, but he did not serve Canada too well, because just look at the whole thing, or beside him, or behind him, or in front of him, where you will see only that thing. So I would like to thank you so much, and that there will be an add-on to this video.